And the race has begun. The countdown has started. And it looks like Janus has chosen column 5 for Grommie, and Grommie has chosen row 3 for Janus. So let's take a look at these particular lines here. So Janus, having to complete row 3, will have to collect Grapple Beam, defeat Ridley, as I said. That was a thing that was going to come up. Collect X Super Missiles and 50 minus X Power Bombs, so lots of item collection. Finish in the Spring Ballroom, which they do need Grapple Beam, which you'll have to collect anyway, or Ice Beam to get into. And the Brinstar Map Station does not seem too difficult. And then for Grommie, he is going to have to complete column 5. So column 5 is collection of the wreck ship reserve tank, interestingly requiring speed booster. So we'll have to see how he decides to route there. He has to collect 35 or more super missiles, which is a lot of super missiles. You can only miss, really, there are 10 super missile packs in the game. You can only skip 3 of them, basically. Brimstar Map Station for both players, it seems. 9 or more energy tanks, lots of energy tank collection. And collect only 1 of Wave or Charge Beam, so he'll have to make that tough choice. Likely to see Charge Beam here, because it's just very useful to pseudo screw and whatnot. So some synergistic options for Janus could potentially be, since he does have to collect those X Super Missiles and 50 minus X Power Bombs, he could consider doing the column that he forced on his opponent, in theory, because he does, I mean, then he completes the 35 plus Super Missiles objective. The only tricky thing about that is you do have to get that wreck ship reserve tank, and that can be a little bit out of the way if you don't have speed booster. And so you have to carefully route what you're doing there. Since he does have to defeat Ridley, we could see him potentially going for column 3. Now that actually looks pretty good, because he can defeat Ridley there. He can collect ice and skip speed booster, so maybe he doesn't need speed booster. Yeah, it's a little sad to go slow. 2 reserve tanks isn't so bad. He could grab the one in Brinstar, which is pretty free, and then maybe the one in Norfair, since he's going to be doing a lot of Norfair collection. And then if he's going for Gravity, which he likely will want to do, maybe first, then he can collect all 15 wreck ship missiles while he's at it. So it looks like our players, it looks like Janus has decided to continue playing, and Grommie's sitting still, maybe just planning out his route. There was a player in the past by the name of Just Defend who used to just sit at the ship and wait until he had mapped out his entire planned route. So maybe Grommie is doing the same thing. It can be actually really efficient to map out your entire route here, and maybe he's done that. And if you can do that, then you will be rewarded, because then you don't have to backtrack if you forget something, or if you don't plan it out right. So that could be what Grommie's doing here. And with all that item collection, I don't blame him. 35 super missiles is a lot, 9 energy tanks is a ton. So it looks like Janus is making his way back up the climb, deciding not to go for the E-Tank and Blue Brinstar, so maybe... I mean, he could get that later, but maybe he's not going for that column 5. That seems a little bit much, especially since he picked it for his opponent, but sometimes that can be the most synergistic thing. Now, Janus is actually may have a little trouble picking a row or column because there is collect Spring Ball and skip Grapple, and he does have to collect that Grapple Beam. So he's locked out of completing column 4, row 4, and the top left to bottom right diagonal. Because keep in mind, those diagonals are in play. I was looking at the card and thinking, man, that top left, bottom right diagonal would be easy, but he cannot actually skip Grapple Beam. He must collect it. So both of these players heading into Bomb Chorizo. Looks like Grommie is catching up pretty well. Janus electing not to go for Alcatraz, maybe just because he was having a little trouble there. Might give Grommie a little chance to catch up, so we might see these players sync up here soon. I think it'll be really telling if one of these players does decide to grab the reserve tank. There isn't much in terms of missile collection for these players, although if Grommie decides to skip on Charge Beam and collect Wave, then maybe you'll want to grab some missiles for damage. But these players are not really required to grab missiles other than the wreck ship missiles, and that's only 3 packs. So we may not see either of these players head into the room past early supers, unless they want that reserve. All right, so Janus is going back to the reserve room with only 40 health, interestingly. Got hit a bunch. He is going to collect these missiles. Deciding not to get both. Grommie is piecing right out of there. These players do need to collect the Brinstar map station. Grommie is walking right by it. Oh, he might be heading back. And Janus needs to be really careful with his health. It's so low. He's at 9 health. Please. Okay, he's collecting a little bit of health here. Thank goodness. Janus also not going for that Map station. Interesting. Maybe since he does have to collect a bunch of supers and power bombs, he'll come back to Bryn Star since there's such a large number of items here. So Janus has picked up Charge Beam now. Looks like he is heading over to Red Tower, where he's going to have to make the decision. Is he going for Fantoon first, or is he going to head down to Norfair? Looks like Grommie wants these Spore Spawn supers. He's gonna try to get that here. Very nicely done. Making it through there. Alright, so Janus is heading straight, I imagine, to Kraid to collect Various Suit and grab an energy tank for himself. He does have to spend a lot of his time in Norfair, so getting Varia and going to Norfair isn't bad. He can kill Croc and grab Grapple, and that'll help him get across the moat to get to the wrecked ship if he decides he wants gravity. But he could put that off if he wants to. He does have to finish in the Spring Ballroom, though. That's one interesting thing, and without gravity, finishing in the Spring Ballroom is very difficult and probably not worth the time investment to do. Janus having a little trouble getting blocked by that arm. Gonna have to farm up some ammo or use Charge Beam to finish this fight. Gets a super, but the arm again. Kraid the troll. Getting a little low on health. Please, Janus, stay alive for us. Kraid area now, and Janus is through. Okay, very good. Gets a bit health bomb there, so he's gonna need to find some ammo somewhere else. Alright, so Janus plugging away, trying to farm these little bees, while Grommie is about to fight Kraid. Let's see if he gets the quick kill. Very nice quick kill on Kraid. So he's making up some good ground here, especially after he paused at the ship. Janus, realizing he can use the recharge station up above, is now on his way. He'll get a bunch of supers here from Mini Kraid. And this Kraid E-Tank is very helpful, so even though Janus doesn't need a lot of energy, you know, if he has to fight Ridley later, all these E-Tanks will come in handy. But these guys are now pretty synced up. It's quite the race we have. Janus pausing for a second there. Wonder if he was considering skipping high jump. Grommie beelining it to ice, making that mock ball look easy. So maybe he is doing row 2, perhaps? Maybe Grommie's going for row 2, collecting ice and skipping speed booster? Maybe. Okay, so he is going towards high jump. Oh, he's just grabbing the E-Tank and leaving, so I think row 2 might be locked in for Grommie at this point, because he is skipping high jump, and since he collected that ice, he's likely skipping speed booster. In which case, he's probably just leaving. I do need to check that off, that he does have charge and not wave. Oh no, he's entering Norfair. Interesting. Wonder what he wants to get here. If he's skipping high jump, skipping speed booster, and skipping wave. Skipping everything. Very curious. Meanwhile, Janus going for wave. He's probably going for Croc. Grabbing grapple? Yeah, that's what he's doing. That's what Grommie's doing. It all makes sense now. This is clever routing by Grommie. I think those couple minutes paid off. Because he's basically doing all of his Norfair item collection and likely not coming back. Janus having a little trouble getting up here, but now he's made it through Bubble Mountain. But decides to back off. He really wants this reserve. I really like Grommie's route here because he is collecting a bunch of E-tanks, which is helping his objective as well. But what's nice about Janus's route, he's about to knock off a couple objectives here on the card. He's going to get the Norfair reserve tank and have 2 or more reserve tanks, so good on him. Grommie looks like he wants to bomb jump up here to get his first power bomb pack. It's a very good idea to do this, but I think he's a little too far to the left. He's probably going to bonk on this platform, unfortunately. And now Janus is going to go to Croc as well to collect Grapple Beam. That's what it's looking like. Just farming a little bit for the fight. So both players taking very similar routes, but Grommie electing to skip a lot of items. Looks like he wanted to go down to Grapple. Oh, he's just farming, I see. It's like, why are you leaving? Now, he doesn't need to collect Grapple here, unless he's going for some objectives that, I mean, right now I'm speculating row 2, which makes a lot of sense, but it'll help him with a lot of traversal in the game. He'll be able to get across the moat, he'll be able to collect the wreck ship energy tank a little easier if he wants to go for that. It'll help him escape this area as well. There's one particular spot where that'll help him a lot, especially since he doesn't have speed booster or high jump. And Croc is down for Janus. He did pick up the E-tank there. And he's going to head over to collect Grapple as well. Grommie having a little trouble getting this bomb jump. It can be tricky. But now Grommie's through. Looks like Janus also wants these power bombs. It's very helpful to get these. Especially for climbing up Red Tower. You can just kill all the Rippers if you're not familiar with Hero Shot and other strategies of getting up there. Alright, so we're gonna see Grommie probably just head out of Norfair here. He's having a little trouble without high jump. Missing high jump can really slow yourself down. I mean, you don't realize it, but high jump helps you get into a lot of places. Now, he could have actually wall jumped off of the side of the door there, but having a little trouble with that. I'm not exactly sure where Grommie is going, but he could have, if he was planning on exiting Norfair, he could have exited to the left if he had just gone straight up after defeating Croc from Croc's room. Alright, and Janus has collected Grapple Beam, so he is 2 out of 5 on his forced objectives, but some of those other ones are very difficult, so we'll see how quickly he can knock those out. Looks like Grommie in deep thought here, giving Janus maybe a second to catch up. Janus electing to save here at this post-Croc save station. I wonder if we'll see a lava dive from him. It'd be really interesting if he goes for Ridley now. I don't expect it, but it'd be really neat if he did. Looks like he's heading out of Norfair as well. Grommie's still deciding what exactly he's doing. I mean, the fact that he skipped Speed Booster and high jump boots. I mean, I feel like he's locked himself into wanting to do row 2, but he didn't pick up the Norfair reserve, which is actually really important because if he doesn't have speed booster, he cannot collect the wreck ship reserve. Janus looks like he wants Ice Beam, so he's gonna grab that. And if he is doing column 3, like I'm thinking, seems like a good idea. Oh, he's going back down to Norfair. Interesting. Maybe he realized that he does need to grab that reserve tank after all. I mean, this is a good time to grab it if he wants to get it, because it could be hard to get back to Norfair later, or at least create a route that would get back there quickly. Yeah, he's heading back in. Oh, you guys are right. He has to get the wreck ship reserve. My bad. So, that's a good point. That is a forced objective on him. So he does need speed booster. And so it looks like he's going to go collect that now. So he must have realized he must do a different chosen row or column or diagonal. Good call, guys. The need for speed. So Janus did pick up Spazer there, so it's not going to be able to complete anything that has the skip Spazer, which locks him out of the BLTR diagonal, column 2 and row 4, which he was already kind of locked out of because of skipping grapple beam was on row 4. So he's probably pretty much decided to go for that column 3. It's my guess. Oh no, the cack attack! Oh, he was so close to getting up there. And the cack attack was giving him pretty good RNG. Meanwhile, Janus helping a poor plant survive. You know, they don't get food very often, so helps. Doing a good safety save here. Janus is feeding all the plants, but he is also collecting a lot of power bombs right now for his collect X super missiles and 50 minus X power bombs objective, so that's good on him collecting all these along the way. So I wonder, depending on what chosen row Grommie goes for, row, column, or diagonal, he might be able to grab high jump here. I wonder if he's going to do it. The thing is, he did spend the time and defeated Crocomire. Looks like he's gonna continue skipping high jump. Interesting. Maybe he will go for bottom left to top right. That does mean he'll have to defeat Spore Spawn and Botwoon, but that might not be so bad. He'll likely have to go back to Brinstar, maybe for the the super missile there and the energy tanks there. He could also decide to do 2 complete columns. I believe he could do column 4, because there is finish in Spring Ballroom, and collect Spring Ball and skip grapple. Oh, but he has grapple. Guess he can't do that. So maybe my money's on BLTR. So Janus looking like he's pretty locked into column 3 now. He's collecting the first of the 3 wreck ship missiles, and he's gonna be fighting Phantoon now. So it looks like Grommie is going to do a bunch of item collection in Brinstar. Good move. He has to get 9 energy tanks and 35 supers, so he can get a bunch here. Now, Janus could be X-Factoring Phantoon. He does have Wave and Charge. If he does know, the patterns and everything. Interestingly, he's deciding to go for missiles. Maybe he's just used to the new route. Any percent or something. Getting a little bit low on health. Grommie finally grabbing that E-Tank behind Charge. He's got 5 of 9 E-Tanks. Needs to find 4 more. There are a decent number of them in Brinstar that he can collect. Please, Janus, finish this up. I think his super will do it, but he's at 11. He has reserves, though. Hopefully he has enough in his reserves. Okay, he has plenty of reserves. Good news. I think he'll be fine. Just make sure you get those last couple hits in. For 1 super, I think he'll do it. And the ghost is down. Very nice. So he'll need to be grabbing. We're going to be looking out for Janus to be grabbing all these wreck ship missiles here. So keep an eye out for that. He'll likely collect both super missiles as well for his collect X super missiles and 50-X power bombs. I'll get him, I believe, 2 packs away from that objective. Oh, 2 packs away. I'm wrong. 5 packs away. Interestingly, Grommie decided not to get the Wave Gate E-Tank in Pink Brinstar. A little surprised about that, because he was right there. I guess you do have to know the Super Missile trick to get up there, since he doesn't have Wave. Janus doing a good safety save here. Great idea with his health. Especially if he's going, you know, up to the attic and finding his way through all these enemies so he can get to those missiles. Still curious what Grommie's up to and what his plan is. I still don't know. Looks like he's trying to knock out like a lot of his force guard. Okay, he is going to Spore Spawn. Okay, so he is probably doing bottom, left, top, right. That's why he's collecting all these power bombs. Excellent. I like the plan. It's very hard to say who's in the lead at this point. Janus does have to defeat Ridley, so after he gets gravity here, he's going to have to go all the way back down to Norfair at some point and defeat Ridley, and then eventually get to the Spring Ball room. So that's going to be quite time-consuming. But Grommie did take some time to think about, you know, what his route was going to be. And especially after doing the same thing as me, I mean, I don't blame him. And realizing that Wreck Ship Reserve Tank does require Speed Booster, I mean, he might be behind in that respect. So it's probably anyone's game at this point. I think it's too early to say who's in the lead. All right, so Janus does need to get these missiles. Looks like he's going for them. Spore Spawn is down for Grommie. He does need to finish off the enemies in this room to leave. Okay. Figured it out. So all 15 Wreck Ship missiles have been collected. And Janus now has gravity suit, so that's good on him. He'll be able to get to Spring Ball now. Maybe do some item collection in Meridia if he likes, if he wants to work towards that collect X supers and 50-X power bombs. There's a bunch of supers in Meridia. He's a little low on health, though, so hopefully I mean, that seems to be the story of this game for Janus. He's been so low on health, but he's been making it happen. He's been getting it done. So hopefully he'll maybe save at the ship, get his energy back. Play it a little safe. Meanwhile, looks like Grommie is going to grab some more power bombs here in Brinstar. Looks like he wants this E-Tank too, which is wise. He only needs 3 more, and this is going to knock off one of them. Janus deciding, I want these power bombs. I'm going to bomb jump up here to get them. Looks like Grommie's out of here, so might be seeing him head to the wrecked ship, probably to defeat Phantoon, grab a couple super packs, and very likely collect gravity. Since he does need to defeat Bot Wound. So by my count, both of these players are at 35 total super missiles and power bombs, so they're dead even on that objective, which is really interesting. It looks like Grommie's about to collect the Criteria super missile. Just a pretty good plan for him. Really nice pickup here on the way, so good routing choice there. Having a little trouble though. He does have ice. He could freeze these guys. And remember, he does need like 35 or more super missiles, so him collecting the others, you know, all those power bombs is probably not going to pay off. In fact, he has 4 power bomb packs, which puts him at 20 power bombs, which honestly doesn't make too much sense unless he just wants some power bombs. Alright, so Janus has picked up the Brinstar map station, so good on him to remember to go back and do that. And we'll likely see him go pick up a bunch of these Brinstar power bombs, super missiles, anything that helps him with that collect X supers and power bombs. So when Janus collects these power bombs here. He's gonna need just one more super missile or power bomb pack to complete his objective. Grommie still needs 2 more, but he can get 2 more super missile packs at the wreck ship. The thing is, he still needs 35 or more super missiles, so you probably have to grab some in Meridia, which makes a lot of sense. Like on the way to Botwoon, he can grab either the Aqueduct or the Crab supers. Very likely. He could also grab both of those E-tanks in Meridia, which aren't too far out of the way. Mama Turtle's a little bit out of the way, but, you know, he has to fight Botwoon anyway, so he might as well grab that E-tank. So Grommie is off to fight Phantoon, and Janus is cleaning up Brinstar now. He does have to go down to defeat Ridley at some point, so hopefully he'll get it done soon, because that can be very time-consuming. All these super missiles, though, will help a lot. And keep in mind, Grommie does not have Wave Beam, so he cannot X-Factor Phantoon. He's going to have to use missiles and Charge Beam and Ice Beam the old-fashioned way. Alright, looks like Janus is heading down towards Norfair now, so he's going for defeating Ridley. He's going to have to do a lava dive, but without space jump, but that should be easy. He has gravity suit, so he can do a gravity jump with high jump boots, or if he likes, he can try to do some wall jumping strats. But then, once he defeats Ridley, it's not over for him. He still has to beeline it to the Spring Ball room, so it's a very time-consuming route, and one that Grommie forced upon him. So, you may see that time play a big role here in this race. I think it's a pretty close race right now. Grommie just has to finish up Phantoon, grab these 2 super missile packs, and then run as fast as he can to Meridia. Oh, actually, he does have to get that wreck ship reserve, so that'll take up a little time as well. Alright, so Janus is safety saving here. Good idea. Good plan. Before heading into Lava Dive. Looks like Janus electing not to gravity jump, deciding the wall jumps are the play. And Grommie has collected X super missiles and 50 minus X power bombs, but he still needs one more super pack for that 35 plus super missile objective. Janus deciding to reset. Looks like he's not comfortable doing a gravity jump. And he does have a save in Norfair, so this could give Grommie the chance he needs to pull ahead. Except Grommie is leaving. Where is he going? Oh, he's saving, okay. Is he grabbing the wreck ship E-Tank? I think he is. No? Yes? I guess he wanted a little running start there. That helps a lot. Janus just chilling now. Interesting. So it's his turn to think about his route. Feel like he's really close. He just has to go defeat Ridley. Maybe pick up the power bombs of shame along the way to complete his 50 minus X. Or collect X super missiles and 50 minus X power bombs objective. And then just beeline it to Springball Room. That'll finish him up if he can get this lava dive. Yeah, I do agree with what you guys are saying. I think this E-Tank is probably a bit slower than the Mama Turtle E-Tank. You know, once you have gravity and everything, can be a bit easier. But, I mean, this refills his health to full, which is nice for his health total right now. Granted, he took a bunch of damage in the Spike Room of Death. It looks like Janus is back to the wall jumping strat. If that's what he knows, I mean, that's what he should go for. Oh, taking a couple hits from those Namahes on the wall there. And he's through! Very nice. Very, very nice. Hope he saves here. Yeah, he's definitely gonna save. Fortunately, Janus does have some reserves here, so he's able to heal up a bit. And now he is off to fight Ridley. There are some opportunities to farm in here, but there's some very dangerous rooms. In theory, he could Green Gate glitch into Golden Terizo area if he wants to pick up Screw Attack and the energy recharge station, maybe more importantly. If he really wants, he could. Looks like he's just gonna press on with his health total, which is fine. He just needs to get through this Fast Pillars room quickly without a speed booster. That can be a bit of a challenge. This acid is not gonna do negligible amounts of damage. You can see it draining his health there. Meanwhile, Grommie is entering bowling, about to collect the wreck ship reserve tank and gravity suit. So once he does that, he's just going to need to head straight to Meridia, grab one super missile pack, and defeat Bot Woon and likely the E-Tank after Bot Woon, and then he's done completely. So it's going to be a close race. Getting sniped by those pirates. Come on, Janus. Oh, 17 health. You cannot actually freeze those guys on the walls without plasma beam. It's pretty rough. Looks like he realized that he can use some powerbomb strats to kill off these enemies. Yeah, he has a lot of ammo, so he should be using that to defeat these enemies here. Very nice. So now he has to get through this amphitheater as well, which is also very dangerous. Hopefully he can make it. These guys do a lot of damage. Grommie sparking right into the wall there. And Janus taking it safe, shooting each enemy to prevent them from firing at him. That's a really good strategy. Oh no! He fell in the acid, dude! That's bad. That's really bad. So he is gonna have to traverse through that whole area again. And Grommie has gravity, collected the wreck ship reserve tank, and he is ready to head to Meridia. So he is very close to done. Janus is going to have to book it if he wants this. Because that definitely costs him quite a bit of time. Alright. Grommie's taking a couple falls in those plants. Everybody's feeding the plants today. I like it. Janus now taking it slow. This is why we call this the worst room in the game. Comes the amphitheater again. Grommie is pretty much about to enter Meridia now. Keep in mind that Grommie does not have high jump. So it can be a little bit trickier for him to travel through this area. Could slow him down a little bit. But he does have speed booster to get through this big room. Alright, so Janus is through. Thank goodness. Grabs the E-tank. Very safe move, considering his health. Now he just needs to book it to Ridley. Gonna safety save again, good idea. And it looks like Grommie's gonna collect these crab supers, not a bad plan. They're right here. Does need them. Alright, so now he just has to defeat Bot Woon. and collect the E-Tank after Botwoon, and he'll be done. He'll be good to go. And Janus does complete his collect X Super Missiles and 50 minus X Power Bombs by collecting that Power Bombs of Shame, as we call it. For any percent, at least. He is off to defeat Ridley. And his max supers are a bit higher. I think he has 4 packs of supers, so he could farm a bit to get his super count up so that Ridley should be a cinch. So here's Grommie at Botwoon. He has plenty of ammo for this fight, and he does have Charge Beam, so should be pretty free. Alright, and Botwoon is down. And that's gonna be it! Grommie collects his final energy tank and wins this race with a first place SRL time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 48 seconds. Congratulations to Grommie here. Completing his forced column 5 and the bottom left to top right diagonal. He stopped, he thought about where he was going, he realized that he was doing something that he couldn't do, and he reassessed and he found a good synergy with what he had already gotten done. So that was good on him. And now Janus is heading in to fight Ridley, so he's getting pretty close to done too. He just has to defeat Ridley and book it to Spring Ball. He has a ton of supers, he just farmed a bunch. Well, using grapple is very helpful. Does have Charge, Spazer, Ice Wave as well, which is a really nice combo. Considering, you know, Plasma's quite a bit out of the way to get. You see this combo used in the new any % route for the game. So it does a fair amount of damage. You just have to keep plugging along, keep shooting Ridley. He does have a fair amount of health to survive. He's taking a bit of damage now. Ooh, he's getting a little low on health, but he has those reserves. Keep that in mind. Ridley is enraged right now, so he's pretty close to dead. Ooh, 55 health, please! Oh no. Quite the tragedy. Poor Janus indeed. Janus is so close to finishing here. You guys are gonna have to give him your energy for this Ridley fight coming up, so he can finish strong. Good on him, filling up all the reserves. Looks like he is pretty much done farming here. So here comes another fight with Ridley. Good luck, Janus. I think this is a smart move from Janus. He's decided not to use his super missiles right away. I lied. There he goes. Alright. Because, you know, you can save your super missiles until the end of the fight so that you can kind of skip over Ridley's enraged phase. And that can be advantageous. But he did manage to hit him with a bunch, so that was good news. So very close to done with this fight. Just needs a few more shots. Ridley's really mad right now. Does have reserves here. Fully packed reserves. So needs to finish it up here. Think Ridley might be dead. Maybe? No? Please? Yes! Good job, Janus. So clutch. Knocking off 2 objectives for himself in one fell swoop. quite literally. So now he just needs to escape Lower Norfair and head straight to Spring Ball, and he should be done. You do have to give Grommie some props for finding this particular set of objectives that he forced upon Janus, because it's a very treacherous one and a very time-consuming one to go out of your way to defeat Ridley, and all that item collection, and then again having to finish in Spring Ballroom. Takes a lot of time. These key hunters giving him a bit of trouble. Wow, both of them ended up down there. I haven't seen that too often. Since Janus has skip speed booster, he's electing to take this grapple route, which is interesting since he has collected grapple. Not a bad plan. Alright, so Janus is finally now in Meridia. So we should be seeing him finish up here in just another couple minutes. He does have to wait for Shaq Tool. And do stay tuned, guys. We have another Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo tournament right after this one. It's going to start pretty much right away after this one, so stick around. And now we wait for Shaq Tool, the gatekeeper, to allow Janus to pass into his final room. And congratulations to Janus for completing the race with an SRL race time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 21 seconds. Well done to both of these runners. Let's get a bunch of clappers in chat for both of them. Janus definitely had a bad spill in Lower Norfair that put him a fair amount behind, but I thought these racers were actually pretty neck and neck for most of the race, so it was a pretty exciting one. So unfortunately, Janus will be knocked out of the tournament here, since this is the losers bracket. The Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo tournament is double elimination, so this is his second loss, sadly. But Grommie will move on to face Elminster in losers round number 2. So there is going to be plenty of Super Metroid in all of our futures. This tournament's really just getting started. We got a lot of round 2 matches still planned. The losers bracket. Up next, we do have a match between Feral and Thunder Mustache. So we're just going to get that set up here, and we will get things started shortly.
Yo, what's up, folks? What's up, Alucard?
Hello, 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 Typo. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. It was a really exciting race.
That was really good. I enjoyed watching that a lot. I came in a little late because I got home at about 7:20, 7:25, but it was awesome.
Excellent. Yeah. But I'm also excited for this up-and-coming race. We've got Feral, and we have Thunder Mustache.
Yeah, Thunder Mustache did have a match previously. Feral didn't. Feral is, I think, number 2 overall in SRL seeding. So he got a bye the first week. Thunder Mustache completed his in 1:39:58, and there's actually a similarity between that and the race that just happened in that he also finished in Spring Ballroom.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, despite Farrell being number 2 seed in this tournament, is that he has said that he has never played a bingo before.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I mean, Farrell's a very, very good Super Metroid player. He has a 45-90%. He started grinding out some hundo for a bit. I think he has like a 128 in that, and of course he does a lot of rotation stuff as well. So we'll see how bingo treats him. All right, so let's see. Okay, Balthazar has created the bingo seed. It is 28223. Fiesel should be putting that up on the stream shortly. All right, the card is up on the stream. I'm starting to look it over right now. It will take me a little bit to process all this, but hopefully Alucard's looking it over as well. We'll try to figure out what's interesting, what's not too interesting, and if there are any conflicts.
Yeah, absolutely. I already see collect gravity suit and skip various suit. So if one of these players is not comfortable with doing that, then that could be tricky. Skip high jump boots is always we saw in just this last match that Grommie was having a little bit of trouble with bomb jumping sometimes without that high jump. 50 out of 75 Norfair missiles can be a bit daunting.
Yeah, definitely.
Defeating Golden, Terizo, and Spore Spawn, having to go to lower Norfair at all. We saw that costing a lot of time in the last race as well. So a lot of tricky stuff on the card.
Yeah, I mean, row 4 can be a little tricky. Luckily, well, you still have to go to Wreck Ship to get the reserve tank, but you don't have to go to Meridia, so that is a plus. Unless, of course, it intersects with another column or row that you want to do.
What's interesting about that row 4 is defeating Golden Terizo without Charge Beam
Yeah.
That can be a little tricky, having to use super missiles and farming them in that room, unless you pick up just a ton of super missiles before you head in there, and that can be quite a bit inefficient. So if these players aren't used to that, that can be quite tricky.
This isn't really very heavy on item collection, apart from those 2 squares, the 7+ energy tanks and 70 missiles and the 100 missile square. The rest is just like more general objectives. Of course, you do have the Norfair missiles and also the Brinstar power bombs.
Right, and Meridia Supers do require Speed Booster to collect. So, I mean, that's an item that they likely want to get anyways, but that's an important point that they can't just head in there and grab those immediately.
Alright, so Thunder Mustache has readied up. We'll just wait for Feral, and then we'll find out what each player has chosen for the other one. Should be a great match either way. All right, and we have started.
And it looks like Thunder Mustache has chosen for Feral to complete row 4, and Feral has chosen for Thunder Mustache